There are not many athletes who can consider themselves a three-sport athlete. With careers in football, basketball, and baseball, Hononegah's Isaiah Houi is one of them. And Saturday, he officially commits to play one of those sports at the next level. Houi signed the dotted line to continue his academic and athletic career at Eastern Illinois University, which is a Division I college football program at the FCS level. His family, friends, coaches, and even a former teacher were there with him for this special moment. He initially committed to Northern Iowa, but learned the program would return several players from COVID and cut his offer from a full ride to a partial ride. At the moment, he is going to the team as a defensive back, but remains optimistic he could be used as a safety or even a wide receiver.
I definitely had a different type of love for football early on. It showed early on throughout my years, but definitely football. I'm excited for the competition. You know, we play Illinois next year, Northwestern. I'm really excited to be able to, get that kind of exposure, play those type of teams, and just being able to learn from the guys who have already been there, the coaches that are there right now, and just get better and better every day.